the Edmonton Oilers now have a 2-1 series lead in the Battle of Alberta. And there's plenty of ways we could probably go with this. Mike Smith was outstanding. I know Rasmus Andersson says they were beaten by one player. I don't get that vibe. I think there are multiple players stepping up for the Edmonton Oilers right now, in specific that top line, which the Flames just don't have an answer for.
Yeah, I wrote about it this morning on dailyfaceoff.com. The three-headed monster that's actually together by accident. You take a look at the playoff scoring leaders. They've got Connor McDavid down the middle, flanked by Leon Draisaitl on the left and Evander Kane on the right. Those three players have combined for 55 points in 10 games. It's insane. And the fact that they're together, as I said, by accident, Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid probably aren't together if Draisaitl's healthy. The Oilers probably opt to go with a lineup that's much more balanced, and instead they have this three-headed monster, triple threat super line, maybe one of the best lines that we've ever seen with the way that McDavid and Draisaitl are playing at this point. Draisaitl, 19 points in 10 games, and he's doing it basically on one leg. Kane, the natural hat trick on Sunday. Big moment for him in the series because he was really quiet through the first two games. And now you have this vaunted line that has forced the Flames to change the way that they play. And so the Oilers dictated the pace, a team that really struggled to get good starts in these playoffs. 7 out of their 9 playoff games, not very good in the first period. And they're in a spot now where, how do you stop this line? It's not one player. It's not just Connor McDavid. The dimes that Leon Draisaitl was dropping on Evander Kane's stick. I mean, not to knock anything that Evander Kane did in that game, natural hat trick. I mean, I think you or I could have scored some of them with the way that Draisaitl and McDavid had set him up.
That trio, credit to Zach Lang who dug this up. That trio combines for 55 points so far in the playoffs, like you said, in 10 games. The last time a trio did that, 1988, and it was also the Edmonton Oilers led by Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah, and what we're seeing from McDavid, we're turning back the clock, not just on the production value. You take a look at runs by Wayne Gretzky, 1983 and 85. Those are the only 2 times in NHL history that a player has had more points per game than McDavid's 2.3 through the first 10 games of the playoffs. And not only that, but it's also in this current era as well that those stats are amazingly impressive. Yeah. 23 points in 10 games. Connor McDavid would have led the playoffs in scoring in 2003, 2007, 11, 12, 15, and 17. All those years by one guy, and we've only played barely half of round 2.
It is wild, and that line has been productive. Also, I mean, you mentioned the hot start for the Oilers. That was something they really haven't done a lot in this playoffs. A lot of credit for that, in my opinion, goes to that Nugent-Hopkins line as well, who's done a great job driving play and getting pucks into the Calgary zone.